Morning, morning everybody. Hope you are well. Welcome to the London Open scan. Welcome to anybody that's new. Hope you find some value here with us. Today will be a quick stream because I've got stuff to do in the afternoon. But before I get started in it, I want to introduce you to somebody. I can't believe I never found this guy on YouTube before. So he's the Forex. I'm not sure if I'll get copyright for this, but whatever. I'm not making any money off YouTube anyway. The Forex Wolf of Wall Street. Let's just watch this. This is great.
You see, I always wanted to be rich as hell. I always wanted to be successful. I always wanted to live in a huge-ass mansion with 4 bedrooms, a sauna, a private pool, a Lamborghini parked right outside, and you know, basically live the dream at 23 years old. And most of all, having $1 million around just like this. Let's be honest, it's all about the money, right?
It's all about the money, right? It's all about Listen to this part, hold on. I thought this was really funny. And there was a comment here saying if you branded this as satire, you'd actually be rich. This is absolutely true. Hold on.
And another $16,000 on my last vacation. Being broke and seeing my parents really pissed me off, so I said I'm gonna go out there and really make a lot of money. Millions of dollars was the goal. And you know, 3 years later, look at me now, top of the world. By the way, Mum, if you're watching this, I really hope you enjoy the new mansion that's coming your way very soon.
The Forex Wolf of Wall Street. I'll actually link it below. I think I have to link it below. I'll link it below. Yeah, I don't know why you guys are here. If these guys are kicking about the place, you know, I'm saying here you can make 10 to 40%. He's saying you can be a millionaire in a couple of years' time. So, anyway, let's get into the market, shall we? So, SPX today. SPX is kind of doing what we thought it might do. Well, actually, we did say yesterday that we're looking for the market to tell us it does want to push on, creating a potential head and shoulders, going with that weekly, decent weekly hammer bar, ABC on this weekly chart, that possibly indicating that this corrective is over. I know it doesn't make sense. You know, for me, you know, the fundamental side is still going on. Why is this market rising? But again, we've had that decent drop. So we've seen the yen come off. We've seen the Swiss come off. We've seen these commodities start to gain some strength. And you know, even though we're not out the woods, absolutely not. This could come back down at any time. This could be a pullback, for example, like this, impulse continuation breakthrough. It would make sense, but at the moment, we're pushing on. You know, at this 20 period, where we'll probably, if we do push that, we'll probably get some reaction around this area. This is key for me, B wave, for movement and kind of confirming that trend continuation in this stock market. So, yeah, I mean, at the moment, depending on how London opens, I still maintain that neutral stance, but I would be favoring towards buying those commodities right now because we've seen the strength. So trade what you see, not what you think. And at the moment, SPX is looking okay, but it could change very, very quickly. The dollar's pushing as well. We're possibly getting some price acceptance at this area. We have pushed through. We did have a gap up this morning. We could be in our complex corrective here if we're creating B wave, letting that 20 catch up. And again, talking about that reason to enter, I still think the bias for buying the dollar is definitely still there. But that reason to enter, which I don't feel like we have right now, you know, normally we'd see these gaps being closed before we get that. But if we do come down and create that complex corrective, the market tells us it wants to rise by using those simple candlestick patterns, that would be a decent bias for me. You know, bias for the dollar right now is long. The only issue I have with it is this potential daily hammer. So I didn't invent these inverted hammers, but they are there for a reason. Could this mean we see a bit of a pullback or potentially change in trend? I'm not going to say that right now, but we could be. You know, we could be pulling back. You know, we do see with these engulfers and these hammers, sometimes you get pullback within them before they continue in that theoretical direction they should be, with this being to the downside. So be aware of that. But I do think if we digest this hammer, we're seeing that price acceptance above the level. But I don't have a reason to buy the dollar just yet. Possibly tomorrow, possibly Monday, Tuesday, maybe a good time as that 20 catches up if we do get that reason to enter, i.e. our Morningstar, hammer, engulfer, just bullish pressure from this area after that gap's been filled. for pushment. Pushment is not a word, but I'm going to say it. Pushment in that dollar. Okay, setups today. So I didn't get this New Zealand yen. I was actually in meetings all afternoon. It was an okay setup. I did talk about it yesterday. You could have taken a break from this area. Stops under here. TP1 would have been hit and looking to get an anchor to move that second trade up. So I don't know whether I would have taken that yesterday. I think I needed another bar in here. But, I'm just here trading the way I trade. If you find an entry, I know Martin found an entry on his V reversal strategy. That's great. So some of you will be making money. Daily is quite nice now, above that 200. Looking at longs in the New Zealand yen. Now, my favorite on the basket today is Swiss yen, and I have a feeling this may have gone. The context here is great. The higher time frames is great. We've got our cup with handle, pull back, push in, creating a possible AB shallow C. And it looks to be pushing on right now. I needed that breakout retest for me to take that trade. But daily's great. I mean, look where the daily is. We're coming out of this period of consolidation. Good. Higher time frame confluence, ready to move. RTM, remember the milk? Absolutely. We had this fake out, outside bullish engulfer. This is great confluence, So although I would have liked to have taken that as a break, I don't take the breaks on the smaller time frames. I know we're looking at this thinking, well, why not, Ryan? But, as we go over our back testing, I think you're not as profitable taking the breaks as the breakout retest. But, this is really nice. I mean, look at this weekly. Back to that 20. Nice pullback. Looking at a decent outside bullish engulfer. We could still look for setups next week as well. That's all nice. That is absolutely A-class, but I think it's probably, maybe not, but probably gone. It needs to slow down and retest for me to get involved in it. But it does look good, Swiss yen. What else am I looking at? I am looking at Euro Pound. Euro Pound potential shorts. We didn't get this on the 4 hour. Not quite enough for me to take here on this V reversal push. Pull back to around those moving averages, which is, looks nice, ready to move again, push through the area. We could look for a retest on this 4 hour as well, because the context is there, even with this head and shoulders, as well. I'm primarily looking at on the daily chart with our head and shoulders here. Head and shoulders breaking through, looking for a retest, which may come because we've broken from relatively, I wouldn't say deep, but we've had a decent impulse to the downside. So if we get that retest that comes within that 40-60 box, like this, 40-60 on the Fibonacci, reason to enter, catalyst to continue with this longer term trend, absolutely that makes sense with me. Trend is your friend. I always try to go with that. And Euro Pound to the downside, I like that trade as well. The trades on the watch list, though, the currencies on the watch list, a lot of them look really nice. The market's starting to get a wee bit better. I'm starting to resonate with it a little bit more. USD yen is another one I do like. We are still in this aggressive entry. Remember, not with real money here, but we could be getting our A, B, C, 1, 2. Break from here would be quite nice. I'll go into that in the 4 hour in a second. From a daily perspective, we're looking at break of these highs. Coming through here, slight reload, accumulation, break to the upside. Same thing, day in, day out. However, on a 4 hour perspective, I like this because we're at B wave, right? So breaks of B wave are certainly my favorite. But looking at it from here, from our view reversal, I need this to pull back. I can't take a break that's come from deep because often you see fake outs happen. So what if this does decide to push? What would be ideal is if we fake out, we then come down and pull back before we get in. So retail potentially being stopped out on that fake out, pull back, and then we get in and go with the big money. USD yen certainly makes sense. I know the thought of selling off the yen right now with what's happening in France and Ukraine doesn't quite make sense, but we're going with what we see and not what we think. So USD yen not broken the area yet, something like this to get me in. I certainly like that trade. Certainly like that trade as well. Something I want to be involved in with the DXY pushing on, with the SPX pushing on, with the yen weakening off, with the dollar relatively strong, it certainly does make sense to me. I just hope it does set up. You know, I just need it set up so I can get involved in it. New Zealand Swiss. New Zealand Swiss here, daily looks quite good. You know, we're going out the realms of a counter trend into a trending move. You know, you'd expect this to fall from here. We've not done that. Possibly the bend at the end of the trend. You know, we look at recent price action on this daily. We're obviously not extended, but the most dominant candle here is an outside bullish engulfer. It's certainly a green candle. And, you know, we've got a rejection here. We're creating our, you know, higher high, higher low, broken through here, higher high, higher low. Need a break above here to potentially change in trend. I wouldn't say this is a complex corrective, purely because of the price action we've come from. So the context here is quite important. And I certainly like the idea of buying this New Zealand Swiss. So here on this 4 hour, not ready yet from this basing structure here. I would need that to be digested, something like this, accumulation, pullback, etc., to get me in once this basing structure has been digested for a breakout to the upside. That I like as well. You know, that I like as well. I just can't take it now. Ideally, you know, potentially we get that complex. So turning into a possible head and shoulders to give our 30 to 50% digestive rule to break out to the upside. That would be nice. That would be nice. So maybe something for next week. A few of these USD yen potentially for next week. New Zealand Swiss potentially for next week. Swiss yen potential today. Euro pound potential for next week. It looks quite good. It looks quite good. And finally, silver. Now, silver I don't think is as nice, but it's still valid. You know, the only worry about this is we're buying it. Are we buying it on it in a bit of a climactic move here at this resistance zone? So we want the market to kind of get sellers in at this area. You know, our pattern on the 4 hour is our cup with handle, right? But it's not ready to break just yet. Firstly, we don't have that 20 catch up. Ideally, this becomes B wave, not breaking these highs, and we come back again just to digest this move, just to give us a few daily bars here on the daily chart to let that 20 catch up, to make it a bit more RTM, ready to move. So a little bit more daily bars in here for a 20. I know that's not going to happen there. 3 bars won't catch the 20 up. But, you know, we've come from a decent move and we've pushed on here. Fundamentally, I like the idea of buying these commodities. But as I said, it's not in as nice a place as this, let's say the Swiss yen. It's not in as nice a place as New Zealand Swiss. It's not in as nice a place as Euro pound, USD yen. But it's something I'll watch just to see if it does indeed set up. And that's about it for today. Oh, sorry, Aussie Swiss. Aussie Swiss is the last one. We have got that proper break now from the gap to the downside a few days ago. Context here is good, so I'm considering this my break. We can look at retest around this area or my kind of blue zone. We're tagging this 200, which is good for me. That's what we wanted. We wanted those 200 orders filled. Get a bit of a reaction, a reason to enter roughly around this area, i.e. our hammer and golfer, Morningstar, whatever it is, coming on high volume, i.e. giving us the indication that this breakout retest has been a success, has been successful. Buyers coming in for a continuation to the upside. I like that. But again, it's going to take a couple of days to set up. So next week is looking pretty good. My FTMO is frozen for the week, so depending on what happens with the Swiss yen, I kind of hope it doesn't set up. I will take it on my real account if it does. But, you know, I start that back on Monday. Maybe I was trying to be too smart with it. But we'll see. So, yeah, markets are looking okay. Remember, always trade safe. And I'll see you all in the morning. Apologies for the quick stream. I have to go. I got a lot of things to do today. And, yeah, trade safe. See you all tomorrow. Oh, remember, 50K FTMOs. We are doing the giveaway tomorrow. If you want to be entered into that, obviously you have to be a full member. Send me a message on Discord. Send me an email if you do want to be entered in for that. We are giving away, I think, our 5th one. I think it's our 5th one tomorrow. Our 5th 50K. And the $200 prize as well is both being announced tomorrow. So, yeah, have a great day, guys. I'll be back in the morning, and trade safe. Peace.